Hey everyone, welcome to Levels. My name is Jeremy Long, and I am joined, as always, by the sportsnista Cassandra Cousineau, who is going to dare the gods and stand on a pile of books for the better part of 45 minutes to an hour, and pray she doesn't fall off. How are you doing today, CC?
Hey, listen, best respect my gangster. I can do this.
We're going to find out. We are going to find out. So we have a really fun show for you. Making a return to the show is the Blonde Bomber herself. Ebanie Bridges is going to join us in just a moment. She's ready. It is cold, but it is sunny in Australia where she is. And so we're all excited to have her back. You know, the first time around, CC, I mean, we had her on and, we got a great response for this. Boxer / math teacher / just knockout of a gal, both, with her looks, but also with her incredible personality. I mean, we have yet to find too many boxers and mixed martial artists who are as engaged as she is on social media with all of her fans. It's really amazing to see.
Yeah, it really is. And she also was competing professionally in bodybuilding and fitness as well. So I bet you she's figured out how to stay in shape during these here COVID quarantine days. We're certainly going to ask her a little bit, what's it like in Australia? Are the wallabies quarantined too? What's going on? I did hear a koala had the COVID, actually. So.
The koalas have the COVID.
I heard there was a koala that tested positive.
We did have a couple of cases here in the States where I think a couple of dogs got COVID and some other things. So I you know what? I guess we'll ask her. So let's just go ahead and start this thing because it's ridiculous already. So here she is, the Blonde Bomber, Ebanie Bridges. How are you, Ebanie?
I'm good. How are you guys? Thanks for having me back.
I just want to give you a hug. Hello.
I have that effect.
Cece was just saying that she thinks she heard a case where koalas may have caught COVID-19. Have you heard anything about that?
I haven't actually, but it wouldn't surprise me because I know cats can get it. So I haven't heard that particularly, to be honest. But, it's quite possible. So... yeah,
that is ridiculous. Screw this disease, because if dogs and cats and koalas can get it, I don't think I want to live on this planet anymore.
Yeah, we done. If that's
I just say screw this disease because I'm stuck here in Australia when I want to be over there in Vegas, face to face with you guys.
Right? Also, the human suffering and things like that. But if the koalas can't be safe, I don't know what else we're gonna do.
Man, we lost so many koalas in the bushfires. We don't need to lose them to COVID as well. So,
this year, you remember when, whenever we were like, "Hey, Happy New Year," and everyone's drinking champagne and kissing each other.
2020 vision.
Dude, we thought 2020 was gonna be this bomb ass year. Because Taco Tuesday was actually on a Tuesday, or no, Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo was on a Taco Tuesday, and all the big holidays were on the weekends and stuff.
Everything was perfect.
And then and
it was like the big year. It was like the big year. It was like the big year for gold. 2020 Tokyo. Like everyone was everyone, and 2020 vision is like having that, that feel focus for your goals, and everyone was hashtagging. It was like a perfect year, perfect dates, everything was perfect, and then we just got, just smashed right up.
That 2020 vision turned into glaucoma. Yes, got cataracts and everything.
Where was everyone's 2020 vision with this? Everyone was lying about this 2020 vision because no one had this vision.
Yeah, right. See, I thought we were going to get annoyed by that. We were already annoyed by people going, "Hey, 2020 vision," and now I have to fight old ladies with my mask on at the supermarket. So
for toilet paper,
it is what it is. So number one, we want to know, how are you staying busy during all of this? How are you staying fit? Are you finding time to get in the gym? Can you even get to the gym with everything that's going on? What's the latest with you?
Okay, well, like I know I've said before, when lockdown first happened in February, I was pretty excited because I was like, sweet, didn't have to go to work. I can just train 3 times a day. I was just smashing out my training. And then I realized that, hey, there's no real fights on the horizon. I have no idea when this is going to end. So I kind of was smart, and I'm like, why am I trying to kill myself? I'm just going to wear myself out. So then I decided to just take it easy. I was still training every day. Thankfully, the gyms opened maybe in July. Our gyms opened 1st of July, I think it was, or June. I can't really remember. But yeah, like we've been in the gym for a little bit now, the boxing gym, and I'm training. I did have a fight booked for September, which was going all good, and I was training for it, and everything was looking really good until we got a second wave now in Australia. So we were actually down to zero cases for like over a week. We're blessed here in Australia. I mean, we only had like 104 deaths in like 5 months or 4 months, so it wasn't nothing crazy like America or everywhere else in the world. Right. But so we got on top of it pretty fast. But then what happened was, obviously, because we were on top of it and everything started opening up again, everyone got a bit lax. And then there was, the borders opened, and then it started spreading again. So now we've got the second wave.
Americans came into the country.
Yeah, probably. Disease. Yeah, look, I mean, one state, Victoria's been already locked down completely. They have mandatory masks now. And now it's spreading into the New South Wales where I live. And also, I think I just heard there was a case in Queensland. So again, this second wave is coming. So this fight that I was aiming for in September looks like it's going to be pushed back again. But I'm at the point where I had a lot of rest, and now it's just a matter of getting ready, staying in shape. Couple of weeks out of fight shape, weight wise. I don't need to walk around my fight weight. I'm not really, I don't really do that anyways. But just enough that it'll only take me a week or two to just, trim right up for it and just make sure I'm fit. So if the call does come for a big fight, we do have some fights here in Australia that are being on pay-per-view. So hopefully we get on that. And that's all I can really do, and just hope that it slows down.
What kind of non-traditional training have you done once the gym's closed?
I mean, I didn't really do too much. Like I love boxing. I'm obsessed with boxing. I have absolutely no interest in anything else. And I'm not going to go do things that I don't like, just to mix shit up. I don't go, I'm going to go challenge myself to do this because, it's something different. I'm not like that. Like I honestly rather spend 2 hours practicing my craft, and getting better at that, than doing something random. So, I mean, I did say I was going to try and do more running and get further in my running, but like, why? I was like, why? So I just didn't see the point of doing that. I don't need a challenge to stay motivated. I just trained and just, kept at my craft because that's the main thing. I'm a boxer. I want to be a boxer. I want to be a good boxer, and that's what I want to do. So, I can't really say I did anything different.
Well, we've already got a couple of questions coming in from some fans that are watching.
I punched a few pillars, but that's still punching, like punching walls and shit because my boxing bag broke. But there's a video of that. I know you would have seen it. I was like, my boxing bag broke mid-session, so I just started punching the wall. I was like, oh, yeah, fuck it. I'm sorry. Stop it.
So punching whoever's around there. So Grandma, whoever happens to step up will get that smoke. News broke a couple of days ago, of course, about the return, so to speak, of Iron Mike Tyson, and he'll be facing off against Roy Jones Jr. And a couple of our fans have already posted here. What do you think about the news? Who do you like in this? I know it's an exhibition, but who do you like in this showdown between two legends?
Well, what I think of the whole thing is, at first I didn't believe it because so much freaking rumors going around and like so much gossip and at least so much chatter, especially during COVID because people just want attention or people just want to make up fantasy fights. So at first I was like, nah, this isn't legit, and then I found out that it was real and I was like, okay. And I mean, I'm a huge fan of both of those fighters. Do I think it's like, I don't think it's bad for boxing. I think it's good. I mean, it's not like they're both fighting 30-year-olds or 35-year-olds. I mean, like Roy Jones has been doing, to be real. Like they're both kind of at the same age, I mean, I think that I will go more Tyson, just because he's a natural heavyweight. He's powerful. He's explosive. Roy Jones has obviously been more active fighter in the last, he had only 5 fights in the last couple of years or whatever it was. So he's been fighting, but he hasn't been good fights. Like he's been getting knocked out. So, I mean, I think it's going to be it's going to be dangerous. but I still don't blame them. I mean, I would hate to like have to hang up the gloves, and you're gonna have to do it eventually. So I can see that anger, like that. Like if they get an opportunity to do it, you can't say like, man, like it's the last thing you want to do is have to do that because of father time, because you're too old, you know. So I understand why they're doing it. There's no thrill like getting in that ring. There's no thrill like punching faces. And like Tyson, he's an animal. Like, you know, like he wouldn't have got. There's nothing. I know he said it a few times where he said some things are more rewarding to him than fights, which I don't believe. Because I think being in that ring, there's nothing to
He's
compare.
smoking a lot of weed. He got his own ranch and, you know, got his own strengths. So.
Yeah, who knows? But, I mean, look, I'm excited for the fight. I think it's going to be great for boxing. I think it's going to be, you know, we've got to look at it at what it is. You know, we have to look at it for what it is. It's an exhibition between two greats, two of the top, you know, 50 or top even 20, you know, boxers of the world in all time, you know, and they're going to come in and they're still skilled. Okay. Yeah. They're going to be probably a little bit slower. Yeah. They might gas a little bit more. Who knows, you know, but in the end, it's Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. Like, how can you not get excited about it? And for people putting the fight down and say it's going to be bad for boxing, it can't be any worse for boxing than KSI versus whatever that other guy's name was. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it can't, you know.
You weren't a fan of the YouTubers?
No, I mean, hey, I understand the fight. I get it, why they're putting this fight on. I see the promoter's side to it. You know, that's all it is. It's a promotion. It's getting eyes in, looking into the fight. You know, I have nothing wrong with that. It's like the way that I market myself, you know. It's all about getting eyes on the sport. If we can bring more casuals in and more people looking at the sport to actually see the fights, then why not? You know what I mean? Not everyone is a boxing entrepreneur or a boxing enthusiast that knows the difference between A grade fighter and a C grade fighter. You know, maybe they can tell the difference between an A grade and they're like an F grade. But, you know, with those, you know, there's casuals that don't really know the difference. So if we can get their eyes in, they probably think that those guys are good boxers. You know what I mean? So the thing is that you're getting more eyes in and the possibility of getting some to stick around. So, yeah, and that's the same thing with the Roy Jones and the Tyson. These are household names. Especially Tyson, he's an icon.
I'm glad you brought that up because I mean you kind of hit the nail on the head here. And actually, someone just popped up in my back end. We have a special guest for you here in just a second. But you hit the nail on the head. You said, you know, whatever gets people's eyeballs on the sport.
Yeah.
And you yourself kind of face a little bit. You're very interactive with your fans. Like we said when we went to introduce you, you engage with almost everyone that sends you a little message and everything.
Yeah.
Those messages aren't always kind to someone like you. But you have learned to roll with it, and you have this thick skin. You know, excuse me, is that old adage, any publicity is good publicity? Is that true when it comes to careers and when it comes to the sport of boxing?
No, I don't think any publicity is good publicity. Because I think there should still be standards and morals. You know what I mean? I mean, it's good. So, like, I mean, if you're doing something really bad and something that's not moralistic or, you know, shows bad value, then I don't think it's really good publicity. Yeah, okay, you're going to get a lot of exposure. You're going to get a lot of people following you, but do you really want that kind of reputation? I'm not quite sure, you know.
That's a good point. There's a difference between exposure and publicity. Yeah,
exactly. Right. Yeah, so yeah, you're gonna get exposure for, you know, if you say something like, I mean, I don't know,
you can get exposure.
Billy Joe Saunders, Billy Joe Saunders was talking about like joke that he made about, you know, wife beating. Like, okay, you get a lot of exposure for that. You got a lot of people talking about you. But it doesn't look good on you, mate. Like, and I mean, I'd rather get less exposure and still keep my respect, than, you know. And there's touchy subjects for it. It's really great. It's a bit of a grey area. You know what I mean? It's like, I know you guys would have seen my sock thing, you know, and I look at that like that, you know, like I got a great exposure for that, for selling my dirty socks to a British fan. You know, and that went worldwide. That went like viral, like worldwide. But it's like a laugh. You know what I mean? Like, it's banter. I don't think I'm losing respect for that. I think everyone sees the funniness behind it and like the you know, exposing the sock fetish people. But I mean, it's not like it's not like I'm putting out nudes or selling my panties or like leg spreads and stuff. You know. But hey, if you're gonna do that and you need money and you're gonna do it, that's cool. But personally, for me, that's not something I want to I want to portray, you know. But I'm happy to do things for a laugh and like have a laugh and a banter and all lightheaded stuff, you know. So
hey, these days, however you got to make your money, like I said, we fighting old ladies for toilet paper right now.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody selling their drawers, though. You know,
no, I don't want that either. I think there's a line. Like, there's definitely a line. I mean, hey, but if
I'm laughing because I forgot about the socks. I forgot about the socks. When you brought it up, I was like, oh my god, yeah. Because I mean, we see it happen, and not just boxing. Okay, we see it happen in every sport. Different things, and it's not always for a laugh. We see in MMA Dustin Poirier selling his fight gear after every fight to raise money for charity. We see other boxers, you know, signing off different articles of, you know, things. We see the pro wrestling and stuff. So yeah, I get what you're saying, and I understand. It's just I think it was. Go ahead.
It was like it was really just for a laugh. I mean, I could have kept it to myself and just like pocketed it. But I thought, you know what, my fans are gonna love this. They're gonna love it, and because I've got a lot of British fans, and they are. And like it's funny, like I said, you know, I love the British fans, like, and even more now, like just throwing money at me, like thanks. I'm not fighting, you know, I might as well get some money somehow. But and I just knew the reception that I would get from it, and I thought, because you know, if you follow me, you see that I'm just all about having a laugh, and I don't take anything too seriously. You can't really, you know, but yeah, so that's what that was about. But again, exposure. I just want to like go on another thing. Say, for example, Clarissa Shields. You know, she's great with it as well. Like, you know, I think the way she's kind of marketed herself, and she's kind of got that. She's got a lot of hate as well, but at the same time, you know, that's what puts bums on seats. That's people are going to buy the pay-per-view. It's the same as Mayweather. They're going to buy it because they want to see you lose. You know what I mean? So, you know, as long as you're selling tickets and you're getting people to come in and watch the sport and talk. You know, and she doesn't actually do anything that's morally wrong or anything like that. People just don't like her because she talks like, you know, Ali, but she's a woman. You know what I mean? So,
well, did you have any thoughts on? I mean, Showtime came out with this huge slate of cards all the way through the year, and of course those here in the States and everything. But did you have any thoughts on them leaving off Clarissa Shields off of any of those cards? I mean, she's not fighting anywhere.
Nothing.
But I don't understand that. I mean, is that Clarissa's promotion? Who's her promoter again?
Nah, she was surprised. Just like
crazy.
She's with Showtime. She's with she's got the deal with Showtime. I don't know who her actual like promoter is, but she does have the deal. They said Suleiman actually said that said that they were going to find something for her, and that was news to her. I mean, you've got a double Olympian, you've got the biggest name in female boxing on your roster, and to announce 20 something cards and her name is not on there, like, you know, that's
but not that
people get cussed out.
I could be wrong, but I looked at those cards and I don't remember seeing a female fight.
None.
Yeah,
so that's one.
Right.
I mean, there he is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got so much talent over there in America. Hey, Mike. Yeah.
I got another special guest with us. You want to know what it is? How'd you know? It's the brunette bomber. Oh,
yes.
So we have Mike Dixon, the founder and publisher of Vegas Sports Daily. Join, you know,
and the founder of the Blonde Bomber.
And the founder of the Blonde Bomber, and
I was just lucky. I got lucky that night. I just happened to see an amazing athlete in Las Vegas. I think it was Pacquiao Thurman fight.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow, man, it's obviously beautiful, but outside of that, I was like, you know, she introduced herself as well, and I was like, Blonde Bomber. I'm like, oh, where you from? She's like, oh, I'm from Sydney, Australia. I'm a boxer. I'm like, oh man, like instantly that night, it was like she's been great ever since, man. Same, consistent, and that's why I love her, man, and that's why she is a part of our family.
Yeah. You in Florida though, like, so the family's all over the place right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike.
Florida, I can't wait to return to Vegas on Friday. Hopefully get to hang out with Jeremy, discuss some things virtually with Cassandra, the Sportsnista.
Virtual.
So, yeah, it's cool. Hey, I gotta go because it's not like right now, but it's gonna be a hurricane coming soon. So
What?
I definitely gotta
Crazy. Is it you say you're in Florida?
Yes, Florida right now.
Florida's crazy. I hear so much like crazy stuff about Florida. I mean,
Yes.
Yeah. You need a visa to go to Florida.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
It's a different world entirely.
Yes, it's like Texas in itself. It's its own country. It's its own state, man. Like Florida is just
Florida.
If you visit, here's the saying: you come on vacation, you leave on probation. Just visit and have fun.
Kind of like Vegas. So we were talking with Ebony about promotion and the job that she's doing as a self-promoter. Mike, what do you think is the reason why a top promoter has not picked up Ebanie Bridges yet? It's kind of ridiculous. We talked, Clarissa was left off of the Showtime cards, but Top Rank has been featuring Michaela Mayer, and then we saw Golden Boys featuring Sinisa Estrada. What's going on with Eddie Hearn? Like, they're almost neighbors.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what? This is just my opinion. It's not based on anything else. But I think just because she's 4-0, but let's start with the positives, okay? Beautiful, marketable, athletic, great influencer. So she checks all the marks. We get that, right? But now let's focus on a promoter. Exactly.
I can actually knock pictures out. Okay.
Clearly, but from a promoter standpoint, I think it just might have to do something with Eddie Hearn just being ageist. Can you say that in ageist? Like, I don't know. Is that fair? Like,
I know.
What do you think? What do you think, Ebony?
What I think, well, Eddie hasn't signed any Australians. There's no Australians signed to any British promoters. So no Australian had ever been signed to a British promoter between Eddie Hearn or Frank Warren. Maybe they don't like Aussies. Nah, I don't know. But I mean, maybe. But I don't know what it is. And I mean, sometimes I've thought maybe it's because I'm too wild or too stand out and too like voicing and too not straight cut. Like if you look at all his girls, Chantel Cameron, Katie Taylor, Terry Harper, Tasha Jonas, all those girls, they're all very alike. They're all the same. They're all very clean cut. They hardly speak. They just, if they do, it's always very polite and just say what you want to hear. You know what I mean? They're not wild. They're not going against the grain. They're lovely girls. They're very humble. But yeah, I just feel like it's that same kind of, their same personality. On the
other side, he's got loads of
that.
coming out there.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sports Ninja. But I would say, I would counter that with what you always, you mentioned casually. You can sell fights and you can sell weigh-ins. So that alone brings money to the market, like to the fans. Like you need that. Exactly.
That,
you are outspoken, but I won't say I won't put you on the level of Adrian Broner because you have more class than that. There's no shot or knock on Adrian Broner, but at least you're not stiff or dry. We need more personalities like you, especially to represent in the women's sports.
Yeah, and I don't put anyone down. I've never, I respect everyone. I support everyone. I'm not a shit talker, but I'm very straight up with how I am and who I am, and then I have no problem being that person. And I don't mind telling the truth that I like bashing the shit out of people. I'm not like, oh, I just like boxing and blah blah. And I'm a true boxing fan. Like I can talk boxing all day. Like you give me any fights and I'll talk about them. I'm not just doing it for some challenge. I don't do it. It's not like that. I do it because I want to hurt people. Like, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like I really enjoy smashing people. Like that's
and
it.
Fans respond to that.
And it's true. Like if anyone says that they don't, like I don't know, like and it's all this like I don't even know. Look, I honestly don't mind. Look, I have been contacted by
So who have you been contacted by, and what's the next step for you?
So I've been contacted by Frank and Francis Warren, which I was looking at going over there before COVID. They were straight onto me really fast. So it's still in talks there, and as soon as I can, I'll be getting over there and meeting people and stuff. But the longer they wait, the more expensive I'm going to be. Because like the longer they wait, the better. The more the more following I have, the more interest I have, the more money I'm going to be worth. So it's really up to them. Because I'm not going to be coming in and selling myself short, because I know exactly what I'm worth, and I want to go with someone that can see that I'm not just a boxer with skill. I have a lot more to that, and that's fine to have just the skill. But if you have just the skill in an entertainment business, I mean, it's good, but you're only going to get your pure diehard fans, and if you want to bring in money, you want to get all kinds of fans, not just your diehards, and people can judge and talk about me and think that I'm just a Barbie and I can't fight, and they can talk shit about like my record or whatever, keeping in mind I've only have 4 fights, but I know exactly what I can bring to the table, and it's an exciting fight. No matter what fight I have, it's going to be exciting, and I'm not here about protecting my I just want to have exciting fights, and I'm at that point, So and like every fighter, you have to build up a little bit when you transition from the amateurs to the pros. You still need to learn. I'm always learning, and every fight I learn something. So give me the fights.
You said you have just 4 fights, but here's.
I'm sorry. So I was just gonna say a quick call back to last week to these promoters. Just cut it out. Like, come on, bring her on, man.
Maybe they're
Tie
jealous.
her up.
I think maybe Eddie Hearn's a little bit. I think maybe Eddie Hearn's a little bit jealous, because he likes to do all the talking for his fighters. You know what I mean? Like, he just wants to talk and promote them, and they all sit back and say nothing and do nothing. Maybe he just sees it as a bit competitive. Maybe he doesn't like that I might take control of it. Who knows? I don't know. But I mean, I'm going to make his job fucking easy.
Eddie Hearn.
I'm going to make his jobs real easy. Yeah.
I agree. There's rumors that Eddie Hearn in their contracts with his fighters, that he controls some of their social media. Like, he has to have access, and he tweets out certain things. I don't know if that holds any weight or anything to that, but would you ever be comfortable with a promoter being in charge of your social media?
No. Because who I am is who I am, and I that's what I stand for: being genuine, being myself. I wouldn't let anyone take control of my social media and portray me in any different way than myself. I couldn't do that. No one can be me. No one can even pretend to fucking be me. No one could even make a tweet that would be anything like me, because they're not me. So I would never let anyone take control of it. What I would do is, if I didn't want to be on social media because I have to focus on a fight, I would literally say, I'm going to go off social. I'm going off social media, guys. I love you, but as you know, I got to focus on my fight, and fans understand that. And if I was to let someone take over my social media, they would be talking as me in a third person, not pretending to be me. You know what I mean? Like, I can't have someone pretending to be me. Like, they might be like, it'd be on my account, but maybe they would be talking about me as, and Ebony's doing this and Ebony's doing that, not pretending to be me.
It would be super whack. And so we've had a couple of fans weigh in. So I see Sky Moore is saying hello, but Boxing Meets Beauty also said that you slay on Twitter because of the personality that you have. And, we definitely agree. I want to go back a little bit to kind of what it looks like for you in Australia in terms of what you're able to do and what you cannot do as a result of COVID. So here in Nevada, for instance, the gyms are open. Of course, Top Rank has just had its slate of cards in the bubble. UFC has had their bubble, and the bubble's changing. I heard some stuff today, as a matter of fact, about that UFC bubble. I'll let y'all know in a little bit. But what are you able to do and what are you not able to do right now?
We can do everything.
Okay.
Except the only thing that they've just brought in yesterday was that we need to have a COVID marshal in all gyms at every minute that it's open. So we need to if the gyms want to stay open, they need to have someone that's employed that is like making sure everyone's doing the right thing with social distancing, everything's being cleaned and that kind of thing, to keep the gyms open. So I would assume that a lot of 24-hour gyms would limit their hours, because you're not going to have a staff on 24 hours. But yeah, boxing gyms and stuff, all good. I've been sparring. It's no problem there. It's just we just need to be COVID safe.
Do you have to wear a mask at all?
No. The only one state, which is down South Victoria, have to wear a mask because they've got the biggest outbreak as a second wave. It looks like that might happen. Like I said, things are getting. Like I said, that second wave is coming. So that's as of now. Who knows? In a couple of weeks, everything might be shutting back down. Might be doing homeschooling again, and yeah. So
Are you, so speaking of travel, where are you able to travel to out of the country?
nowhere. As far as I know, we can't leave the country, and borders have been closed between states, so we can only stay in our own state.
And finally, here we're about to start school in the coming month. Here in Southern Nevada, for the most part, our schools have gone 100% virtual, and we know that you're a math teacher. What's the scenario for you?
For right now?
Yes.
Yeah, normal. School is exactly normal. I have 1 day off a week. I work 4 days, and every day that I'm there is normal. I mean, we did virtual. We did homeschooling for about 6 weeks. And then when they were kind of filtering the kids back in, there was about 2 weeks of kind of bringing back 25% of the kids each day. So it wasn't so many kids, and it was like full strict. It was like we could only have 12 kids in each class, and they were still doing their online learning, but just as 12 people. So like if your last name started with between A and K, you came in on a Monday. So families got to stay together, you know. So there was no year, there was no like year 7s or year 8s, it was like just 12 kids in one class. And one teacher would be looking after, and we're just there to watch and observe. And if the kids need help with their online learning from their teachers, that's what it was about. And we had to clean the tables. We had to spray their hands every time they came in the classroom. And then as soon as the bell would go, they'd freaking jump all over each other and hug. And then they go in the playground. And it was just freaking ridiculous. And it was like a point I'd be like, kids, stop touching each other, man. Like, stay up for after school. You know, touch each other in your. I don't want to see that. Like, you know, and always like have a joke with the kids. I'm like, what are you doing there, touching each other? You're too close to each other. Save that flirting. I'll be like, save the flirting for after school, boys. You know what I mean? But yeah. So it was like that, and then it went from that. Then it went from that to like literally 2 weeks of that to then back to school normal. Like 30 kids per class, no spraying, like it was no point. Like we didn't have to spray their hands. Of course, we want to as teachers, we are sanitizing, and I don't want to touch no one. You know, but you can't stop the kids, man. And I teach at a sports school, so they all want to play rugby, and they all want to touch each other and play basketball, and you know, like, so it's impossible, man. So, and they all think they're invincible as well. And it's just got to a point now at school where it's just completely normal. We don't even bother with the social distancing or anything. We just look after ourselves, stay away from the kids.
That's best.
What are you teaching these kids right now? What's going on in the classroom?
Oh, they just had just had their exams. Yeah, and this term was only 10-week term, but because of COVID, they only had 7 weeks. So you know, a lot of catching up, a lot of studying for them to do. But I'm really drill my students in class, especially coming up to exams, and I really encourage them a lot. I've got a lot of lower classes. Just because I like to teach those kids to believe in themselves, and just to show them that if they put effort in, that they're going to get the return. And, you know, I've got class rules, and every time I come in, the kids know, you know, and one of my class rules, and I got banned words, and I'll let say I can't, and I'll let say I'm dumb, and I'll let it say it's too hard. And they know that. And if the kids say it and they hear it, they go, Miss, he just said that he's dumb. You know, you're not allowed to say that. I go, yeah, you're not allowed to say that about yourself, man. Like, you got to keep trying, you know. So, and they all
instill that confidence into these kids.
Yeah, man. It does. And you know what? And I tell the kids, like, I tell them, you know, we had the COVID. Don't put so much stress on yourself. The main thing for me is that you're doing better than you did before. As long as this exam is better than your last, I don't care if you pass. Just as long as if you got freaking 10% for your last exam, then if you get 20, 25, 30%, then I'm happy. You know, like, I don't put too much pressure. I give each of the kids their own goals, because you can't compare to each other. It's not really fair to do that. And that's what I say. As long as every day they're doing better and they're trying, that's all I care about, you know. So, and the kids have done really well considering everything. So I'll be marking those exams, and fingers crossed that what they've been doing in class has come through in their exams. Because I'm you know, had a good term, I think, considering.
How was the participation for the parents? Are they very involved with the students and also with you and getting the communication? I know we lack that a lot from parents to students to teachers. We always lack.
Well, I mean, I get
communication skills.
I get some parents trying to slide in my DMs, like, seriously.
What?
Yeah.
You kidding me?
No. I'm like,
you got lots of participation from dads.
There you have it. There you have it.
Hey guys!
If you're listening to this, stop trying. There is parent-teacher night. You can talk to me on parent-teacher night. Outside of that, I'm not communicating. But I mean, yeah. So, look.
So take your.
I'm
chosen
exposing
tools,
everyone. I'm
but also
exposing the
look
sock.
for
I'm exposing the sock fetish
mom.
guys. I'm exposing the teachers. I'm exposing you all. No,
Damn.
but,
Wait, you have teachers trying to slide in your DMs too?
Hey, you know what? The only person I want personally to slide in her DM right now is Eddie Hearn's contract.
Yeah. I slid in his DMs about 6 months ago. I sent him photos of my weigh-ins, and I said that I'll fight his girl Shannon Courtney or Avril Matthew, and I said imagine the weigh-ins is gonna get a lot of exposure. Imagine the posters, like it's got, like I full sold it, but he hasn't.
Yeah, you start that's Vegas right there all day.
Yeah, you know what? He's British, whatever. But look,
I've been watching his IG's live, and Eddie Hearn, I love the guy. He's just a little bit into himself, and he just needs to continue to promote the fighters, man. That's why I love what PBC does and TGB. It's all business for them, man.
You know what? I mean, look, Eddie Hearn gets the most views on all the British YouTube channels. He gets not the fighters. Everyone just wants to listen to him carry on.
Yeah.
And he's loving it. He's a character, and he plays on it. So good on him, But look, So as for going back to the parents and stuff, a lot of the kids that I teach, their back, their home lives are, different. It's they need someone like me to believe in them. In other words, So some of the background you see it all around the place. A lot of family lives. The parents are working, and they don't have time for the kids, or they don't believe in studying because they just want to get out and they need to make money, and there's a lot of things. So as long as when I'm in the classroom, the kids can see someone to look up to. Like I rewarded them the other day after their exam, and I put one of my fights on because I knew that they'd been studying really hard, so I let them watch one of my fights at the end of the class, just to say,
Nice.
look, you know what, you've done really well. So I'll put some of my boxing on, and I do that all the time for them because they all want to watch me bash people up. So, I'm always like, okay, you done well. So I showed them the fights, and and they love it. So
what were the reactions? What was the reactions when
they're all like,
they watched the first?
Oh,
which one did you
gonna
go?
die.
The first fight, second fight? And it's
the one that I showed them the other day, I think it was on Tuesday, after their exam, was my first fight back after my broken ankle. I went up a couple of weight divisions, and I fought a girl, and the refs jumped in and stopped it. But I was just like clean shots, and their hair was like going back and stuff, and they loved it. So
So we just had some breaking news. I just got an alert. One of the the PBC title eliminator fight for this weekend has been postponed. It was between Angelo Leo and Stephen Fulton. We just talked to Angelo on Friday. Stephen Fulton tested positive. It said a positive test for COVID. I haven't seen who tested positive. I don't know if it was him, a trainer, or whomever. So it just kind of brings me to my question for you, Ebony. Are you at all concerned with kind of like your exposure to the amount of people that you're exposed to on a daily basis, that if you get the call, you've constantly been at risk throughout this entire time?
I kind of hate living life in fear and not letting myself do what I got to do. I think if I was actually locked into a fight, and I had an important fight, I'd be smart and I wouldn't work. I mean, I have the flexibility at work as well, where I'm able to take a few weeks off into my fight camps. Like I said, I work in a sports school, so they understand sports and commitments like that. So, but at the moment, I'm not really concerned. Like I said, we know the hot spots around my state, and I just stay away from that. If there was anything to come up at school, then I'd be straight out of there. But
I
feel like
tested?
I have been tested, and it was such a process, man. And I knew that I didn't have it, but because I teach at school, I couldn't. And I am obviously exposed to a lot of people, even though I had like just one symptom, which is everyone here, because it's winter here, so everyone is getting freaking sick. Everyone's getting the common cold. Everyone is getting some kind of flu. So it's hard to differentiate between obviously getting COVID and just the normal flu or just like some common cold.
Are we allowed to get regular sick anymore, or is everything?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So I got tested. And then they said I had to obviously go in isolation until I get my results back. And they said that they would put an urgent response on it because I'm a school teacher to get my results back fast. No shit. I waited 3 days. I had to miss school. And by the time that the results, after the day after I went and got tested, the only reason I got tested is because I thought, I just want to get better faster and I want to get some antibiotics. And they said, we can't test you. If you've got any flu symptoms, you can't come to a normal doctor. You have to go to the COVID clinic. And I was like, freaking hell, I know that I don't have COVID, But so I had to do all that. Anyways, and then I had to be at school because these my kids have an exam. And like I hate letting my kids down. I hate letting my students down. If I'm not there, casuals don't teach fucking maths. So it's literally like a whole and like an English teacher doesn't teach maths. It's literally like a whole lesson, a whole hour and a half that they're going to miss out, And so when I'm not at school, and when I'm not at school, it hurts because I know that they're not getting what they need. Yeah. And so I was sitting there, I was really anxious. I'm like, man, I need to be back at school because they got this exam. And so the day on a Tuesday, I think it was like 3 days since my exam, I literally rang up my school and I said, look, I'm waiting on my COVID test results. I'm supposed to get a phone call from the doctor at 9 o'clock. So I'm not going to be able to make it to the first 2 periods, but I'm just going to wait out the front of school. And as soon as I get the okay that I don't have it, I'm going to come into school and I'll finish the school. But I said there might be a possibility that I do have it. I can't come to school, but I knew that I didn't. So I was literally waiting outside, dressed for school, waiting to get this call off my doctor to tell me that I didn't have it. Right. I rang up the lab results and I said, have I got my results? Yes, you do. I can't tell you, because I'm not a doctor. You have to wait for your doctor. And I'm like, freaking hell, just tell me the results. Like, anyway. So I got the call and they said, yeah, just let you know that, you tested negative. And I'm like, I knew that. Thank you. Cool. And then I was trying to talk to him. I go, I got to go. Thank you. Bye. Hang up. And I walked into the school. But morally, I couldn't go into the school or be around people until I was 100% sure that I didn't have it. But,
so what period of the day was it? Did you go actually that day?
Yeah, I was out in front of the school waiting to have that call with my doctor. So it was like our school starts at 8:20 and I had the call at 9:30. So I got into school for the 3rd period.
And I'm gonna jump in right here real quick. Did you see that tweet that Michaela Meyer said about Terry Harper earlier today? All right, I want to get that to you. Give me a minute. I'm gonna find it, but you guys continue because I thought it was really interesting because Michaela Meyer is calling out Terry Harper now.
About time they should fight each other, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was something. Terry Harper had a quote, and Michaela didn't understand the translation between English and American.
You can't fight inside the distance. That literally makes 0 sense. Good luck, though, Terry Harper, temporary champ. So she said you can't fight inside the distance. What do you mean fight inside the distance? I guess she was trying to explain that she's an outside fighter, but she can't fight inside, so she just put it together.
She can't fight on the inside. She can't fight at short range.
Correct.
I don't know.
But Michaela doesn't fight at short range.
Yeah, because she's
Michaela's a long fighter as well.
I think she actually, if you actually read the context of the quote, I think she actually meant she could finish Michaela or whoever. Finish her in the fight. It wouldn't go to the
okay, wait, sorry. So Terry said this.
Yeah, Terry said it. Michaela responded.
So Terry reckons that she could knock out Michaela, in other words.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, we had an American and an Englishman trying to speak English to one another, and the Aussie just translated it for you.
They try to talk trash.
She literally... Why doesn't she just say, I'm going to knock you the fuck out? Like, just say that. Like,
I love that.
Trying to be proper. Trying to be proper.
Trying to be proper.
That's what you said earlier in this show. You want to...
Yeah, trying to be proper. Look, there's a time and a place to be proper, and Twitter isn't it. Okay, if you're on Sky News against the general public, okay, if you're on like a TV network, or a live radio that, other people think, okay, yeah, watch your swear words and whatever and try and whatever. But come on, like Twitter tweet, just say it. You want to knock her out. Like, I mean, okay. And I don't know about that. I think Terry's had more I don't know the records. I feel like they both had about the same percentage of knockouts. I could be wrong.
I'm not sure if she responded either, but I'm looking now to see if she responded because
did Michaela respond?
Terry did not respond.
Well, Terry's not actually running her social media at the moment. So someone else is. Yeah, she's off it because she's coming into her camp, so she's gone off it. And you can totally tell because you watch the tweets and you're like, that's not Terry. Because like I know Terry, you know, you're like you can see her tweets that she's very humble and she's very down to earth. And I've been saying to a few friends lately, I'm like, this sounds nothing like Terry. Like,
yeah, exactly. Because we can distinguish between a Blonde Bomber tweet and someone else. Yeah. But just like Amy Timmons, she reminds me of Amy Timmons. You know, sweet.
I love Amy, yeah, but Amy's very young as well, you know, and maybe a bit naive and yeah, like she's funny. She's like, I just try and respond to the request to be nice. Me and Amy got tagged in this request, like this DM, and this guy made this photo, like a collage photo of us, and it was so freaking weird. I was just like, and for me,
can you pull it up on?
No, it was like it was like a picture of 3 people, and there was one in the middle, and it said like across the t-shirt it said like Google, and like Google was the boobs, and there was 2 people, there was 3 people, and then it was my face on the person with the boobs, obviously, and then Amy's face, and then and then Amy's face, and then another person's face. I can't remember, but and I just said, and I literally wrote back, I was like, this makes me feel really uncomfortable because Amy's only 20. And, you know, making a collage, a sexual thing like this over Amy, I don't find it funny, mate. I think you've got way too much time on your hands, and it's a little bit creepy, you know. And I don't mind, like, it's not that I like that to myself, but me, I'm mature, you know, like I'm older. I can have a laugh about it, but I just get a bit cringy when they do it to Amy because she's so young. Like, she's a baby, and I'm like, and you're sexualizing this stuff. You're sexualizing stuff. I don't know. Like maybe I'm just.
He might buy you dirty socks. I don't know.
Maybe
I'm being
a fashion line. That's
maybe I'm being an overprotective big sister because that's what I am with my friends. I'm really protective of my friends. I'm really, especially younger girls, I'm really protective of them. Where I'm like, I don't care for me, but yeah, if I see anyone like being like that to my friends, I'm straight on it. Like, don't be a creep.
Yeah, but you know, you come from. You know art. You know art well. Your father is a painter, and your dad always sneaks something into the paintings. You want to tell us a little bit, like what anatomical body part your dad is slipping into the paintings? And have you talked to him about it?
Yeah. So it's pretty funny. He tends to always somehow manage to find a way to put a boob or a breast or a nipple of some sort into his paintings. I mean, not all of them, but quite a lot of them, to a point where you think there's a bit of a trend to it. But I'm like, hey, look, he likes the women body, which is great. Like, you know,
I saw one in a cloud. There was like a mountain too.
Man, it's a cloud.
Water.
Oh, there's heaps of things. Like and it's funny because it's like where's Wally, but where's the titty? You know, so like it's like people,
that sounds like a fun book.
And people know.
Hashtag the show. Where's the titty? Hashtag the show.
Where's the titty?
So and it's funny because a lot of the followers that follow him now, they're always looking for it and like they can't find it or whatever. But it's good. It's like it is good. But my dad is extremely talented, and he's really good at really subtle things like that. And it's a good laugh. And you know, honestly, it's like father like daughter. Me and him are very similar. We always crack jokes and we always muck around and stuff, and can always have a laugh. So you know, he's brilliant. And I don't take after him with
promoting your father, like, you know, it's good.
Follow my dad if you want to do a bit of a player game of where's the titty. It's at Greg Bridges. Go check out his art. You'll be thoroughly impressed, not only by the boobs but by his art.
Another thing I would like to say is we gotta get a collaboration with Patrick Killian to do a picture of you. I was gonna mention that on Twitter, but you know what? Tag Patrick.
I think he's got to wait. I think he wants to wait till I get a belt or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
he just wants to do a normal one.
That's fair. He won't earn it. I understand it, but hold on, guys. I can help you with step number 1. Do not be a creep. So, the sports minister, I want you to lead, and then Blonde Bomber, I want you to close it out in terms of what not to say and do in the DMs, because just hearing these stories, man, it's just like some of it is laughable, some of it is just like disgusting. Like, I know you dealt with a lot of things. We talked about this over the phone a few times, Cassandra. And just tell them like what not to do. Like, how these guys need advice. Talk to them.
First thing is don't mention my children. Just stop.
Oh.
Don't tell
Do
me
they do that?
What kind of daddy you gonna be.
Oh, God.
What you bring to the table. I don't want yeah. I had someone recently tell me that they've always wanted to have a daughter and that he would be a great dad. Delete.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was talking about people's kids, and then you targeted my daughter on top of that. I'm a country girl. I'm good with a rifle.
Wow.
That's not.
I mean, look, I mean, I'm pretty open with like swearing and saying crude stuff, but some of the stuff I get, I mean, yeah, I don't even want to repeat it.
I know. I'll say it for you. You sent me a screenshot.
No.
I was
screenshots.
taken back. Remember, I was taking it back. I was like, what? Yeah. He's like, oh, sorry, that wasn't for you, mate, but look what this stuff I get. And guys, slow down, man. Like, say hi. Just become a first. Say what?
Well,
do you recall what I'm talking about? Ebony?
Wait, no, look, hey, don't even say hello, how are you? It's like, hey, here's my little dick. Like, wait, hey, here's my, hey, did I send you the one about the guy and his nuts? He was like, this guy sent me a picture of his, he said, can I please send you a picture of my dick, and you can just judge it and let me know what you think of it. I just want to know what you think of it. Or, hey, or send me a picture of like nuts and be like, hey, this is my friend's nuts. We want to know what you think of them.
These are my friend's nuts. Hey, Mike, whenever you
have a picture.
Let me take a picture of your nuts, bro.
I'm sorry. I know this went like a whole other direction. It's like me having a picture of Jeremy's nuts and like send it to him. Who would
ask their friend for a picture of their huevos?
How are we not friends like that, Mike? How do you not have a picture of my balls by now?
And I was just thinking, like, you
gotta look for them on Greg
Bridges.
Painting.
Like they look juicy. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my goodness!
What do you want me? Like, you send me these. Wait, you send me these photos, and what do you want me to say? Oh, congratulations! That looks fantastic. Like, wow. Like, hey, here's my phone number.
Biggest balls I've ever seen.
Here's my phone number. Let me wait. Let me just go get my. And you know what? I'm just telling you.
Does that work? Does that work?
I'm telling you right now, and I can say this, that it's very rarely that they are impressive. It's usually something like this. Like, it's like is this an insult? Like, are you having a laugh here?
Prongs or something. I don't know.
The part I like is she's like very rarely, so which means on occasion they are pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean,
impressive huevos. You know?
But you know what? I mean, I obviously get a lot of DMs, and I do respond to some that are genuine. I can try and see some genuine where they are very supportive of my career, and they're like, we love you, we love what you're doing, wish you the best. Nothing creepy like that, and I have no problem giving my time to those guys. But the guys that just like, hey, how you doing? Hey, you're so beautiful. Hey, you're like the hottest boxer I've ever seen. Hey, I'm like, be fucking creative. Don't send me a dick pic. Don't tell me something I already know, and maybe just like support me.
So hey, shout out to one of your biggest supporters, and now I follow him as well, Lee, the guy from Britain. Shout out Lee. I love.
Lee.
Shout out to Lee. He's mad crazy.
Yeah, he's cool though.
Fun.
So one question before we get into our final thing, which is we're going to play a very quick game of two truths and a lie. I don't know, Mike, if you have ever played two truths and a lie. Ebony, Cassandra, and myself are going to say three things about ourselves. Two of those things are going to be true. One's going to be a lie, and we gotta decide as a group which one is the lie. Okay. So, but the last question from our listener right now, Kevin Chase, he wants to know. Okay, so, damn it, why did I choose this question? If the nuts thing isn't the move, what is something that impresses you from guys? What's a smooth move? What I guess catches your eye in whoever you might look for as a partner or date or however we're term it in 2020?
Oh man, you gotta be, look, you just gotta be genuine, have banter, and have a laugh. You know, if you can't have a laugh and you can't, if I can see like you got some good banter, you're really witty, and you can keep up with me, and you're like that, then I'll always be down to have a chat and have a laugh. Like, you know, get creative with your gifts, like this kind of stuff, because I love having a laugh, and if I'm laughing, I'll definitely reply. And it has to be, you know, witty, not like, I mean, if you can be funny, you've got me. Yeah. So a lot of the people that I follow, out of my 69 people that I'm following, and they are all very funny and witty, and I like their tweets, and I like watching their stuff. They're not famous, you know, a lot of them, you know, or they're really supportive towards me. You know, I know you two guys are there, so you know, and you can have a banter. So yeah, you know, you're gonna get a response from me if you're funny over just being the typical, hey, you're so beautiful, hey.
Yeah.
I know.
True story. I was meeting up with Blonde Bomber, MGM. She's down, like, oh, just came back in town, blah, blah, blah. So I just wanted to go say hi. I think it was the Wilder Fair fight. And that was boxing guy, all up on her, pushing her, like, super aggressive. It's like, come on, man. Why you got to be such a douche? Just be yourself. Be nice. Be genuine. And, you know, it's just, it's like automatically.
They all got to show off. They all try.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, they all just try and show off and be the big man, and that doesn't impress me at all. Yeah.
Exactly. Especially when you can whip your ass. So.
Don't send dick pics, okay?
Yeah, don't send dick pics, man.
Stop sending dick pics.
Yeah.
Start instead by sending pictures of your friends' nuts. That's probably the best move. Okay, we're going to start with, you know what, Cece, we're going to start with you.
Oh.
2 truths and a lie. Okay, she's going to tell them to us, and then Ebony, you, Mike, and I have to decide amongst ourselves which one is the lie out of the 3 things that she tells us about herself. So without further ado, Cece, we're going to turn it over to you. What are your 2 truths and a lie?
I've collected hundreds of chicken eggs.
Oh, Jesus.
I have danced on a popular national television show for a while. I have swam with Floyd Mayweather.
Swam with Floyd Mayweather. Okay, go ahead, Mike. What do you think?
What's the lie?
She's a combat sports person, so I'm gonna say, I know she has a history with TMT and Mayweather, so I'll say swim with Mayweather.
Is the Mayweather's a lie?
Okay, so
all right, it's the truth.
Okay, we're going for the lie. Well, which one do you think?
Totally.
2 truths and 1 lie.
I'm having a blonde moment right now. Excuse me.
No,
I know all about that.
Oh, beautiful. All right, you collect hundreds of chickens.
Chicken eggs.
Chicken eggs? Okay, you think it's the chicken eggs. Ebony, what do you think is the lie here?
I think, well, I don't know, because I don't have, I don't watch American TV, but I would think dancing on TV for a long time.
Dancing on TV. Okay, so from what I know about Cece, I know she has dancing in her past because of a running gag here. She is not a gag, but she is actually in the background of a popular artist music video. The egg thing sounds ridiculous. That's why I immediately said, oh my God. But swimming with Floyd Mayweather, that seems weird in itself. Like why the hell? There's so many questions. You know what? I'm going to go with swimming with Mayweather as the lie here. So I think we all have different answers. So Cece, you fill us in. Which one is the lie here?
Well, I'm a country girl. I did grow up around chickens and pigs, so I have collected hundreds of chicken eggs.
What? Yes.
So that one's we ate the chicken eggs
for Easter. I got chickens and okay, I'm gonna stop.
Nah. We ate them. I do now with my kids, but then them ain't the ones that I collected. I was a dancer on MTV for quite a while. I actually did a couple of their shows. I can't swim, so I definitely never swim.
You can't swim?
Can't swim. Do not swim with Floyd Mayweather.
You need some
Swimming with
floaties.
Floyd
Yeah,
Mayweather.
you
I
think you know
got
somebody who
floaties,
can do that?
but
man.
I always tell folks, it's no secret that a lot of Black folks cannot swim. They lost a lot of us coming over here on the
Yeah.
work program, so we don't
Work
trust.
program.
I don't trust the water all that much.
Oh my God, I love it, but it's true.
Okay.
Who's next, Jeremy? Who's next? Two truths
Truth
and a
and a
lie.
lie. All right. Mike, do you want to participate? Do you want to go next? Do you need a moment to think about that?
Yeah, I need a moment. I
Okay,
need to-
so I'll go next. So, two truths and a lie. I have been on stage with the biggest rock band in the world, Metallica, not just waiting in the wings, but I was standing right behind them, a foot away from Metallica, to the point where Kirk Hammett gave me a high five at one point.
It's
I
too
was
detailed to be a lie.
You're too detailed, correct?
I got into a huge bar fight, huge brawl over the result of a Dallas Cowboys football game once. And I was a pro wrestling tag team champion.
Ooh,
So there's the three.
it's like I'm a
Go
school
first. Mike, go with you.
champion wrestler.
Yeah.
Champion
No
wrestler.
offense.
No offense.
Not that you don't look like a champion
offense.
wrestler. No offense. I'm rolling with that.
Okay.
Oh,
champion.
so far, I'm like 0 for 1, so be careful.
All right.
I'm
wrestler,
going with the bar fight because the wrestling thing just sounds too ridiculous, and so I think that would be true. So I'm going with did not get into the bar fight.
That's so funny. I did stand on stage with Metallica at Rock in Rio here in Las Vegas in 2015. Right behind him. The only guy on stage in a Nirvana t-shirt for some reason. I was, in fact, a pro wrestling tag team champion with Gulf Coast Power Pro Wrestling back in the day. Yeah, about
fucking brilliant.
And so I have never punched a guy out in a bar over a Dallas Cowboys. I've wanted to punch a person out for a Dallas Cowboys football game, but no, I have never done that. So the bar fight is in fact a lie. So yeah, you're right there, CC. CC got that one. Mike, you're 0 for 2 now.
Oh,
Mike, 0 for 2.
You gotta know how to take tests, man. You gotta be able to do process of elimination.
Apparently, I bombed tonight, man.
All right, Mike, you're up now. 2 truths and a lie.
Okay. I am a twin brother. Let's make that one simple and easy.
Yeah.
I once got on, damn near went on tour with the 6ix9ine boys, and also was on a tour bus with them to go travel and do a tour. And the third one,
You were on a tour. You were on
yeah,
tour. Okay.
yeah, on tour. Believe it or not, I was hot at that time. I was a feature.
So we know
rapper.
that one. So now you're giving away the answers.
Yeah, I'm really.
I don't think you quite understand this game.
My confidence is shot. I'm being over 2. I believe
Just
in
like your
myself.
Dolphins.
We're
Just
gonna
like your
switch it to.
We need 2
We'll switch it
truths
back
and a
to
lie,
Blonde
man.
Bomber.
We need 2 truths and a lie.
We're
We
gonna
see
go
our,
after Blonde Bomber first. Blondie.
Okay. All right. I'll go. Okay. So
Did we miss it?
yeah.
Did we miss it? Did
Yeah.
you give us straight up 2 truths?
yeah, he quit.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
No,
Okay. Okay.
but
Okay. All right. So now it's Ebony's turn.
I'll
2
tell
truths
you.
and a lie.
Okay, so as you know, or if you don't know, I am also a twin. And a twin brother. I have a twin brother and brothers, and I grew up with brothers. And when they were younger, they all got undercuts. So I got an undercut when I was 8 or 9 years old.
What is an undercut? What's
Okay. It's like when you shave your head, everything underneath your head. They
Oh,
got, like,
okay.
So,
Yeah.
so my brothers got like shaved head and they got bad boy written in the back of their head, like that bad boy symbol, and I got like bad girl written back of my head. I was a mechanic, and I'm on a and I've been on a reality TV show.
wow.
So reality TV, mechanic, and you have twin
Undercut,
brothers.
shaved head.
That
Shaved
shaved
head.
your head. Okay.
I shaved all my hair except for the top bit. It's hung over.
100% believe that you shaved your head.
Yeah. I think that's the truth too.
I believe the mechanic. So I don't believe the reality show because we haven't seen any of that footage. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to go to the reality show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go to the reality anything. Mechanic. Two reality shows and a mechanic there.
I'm gonna go for the 0 for 3 sweep, if anything.
So what are you saying,
we can always count on you, Mike.
What are you saying? What are you saying, Mike? Mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I really did want to get an undercut when I was younger. But thank God that my parents wouldn't let me get one. So that was a lie. But I was a mechanic. I did my trades mechanic. It was the first thing I did when I left school. I was a light vehicle mechanic. And I have been on a reality TV show. It is actually on Netflix at the moment. It's called Single Wives. And I'm on episode 4. And I get in the ring and do some sparring with a girl in there who's absolutely terrified, crying, having a panic attack.
I've never seen that.
I couldn't believe that.
So it's on Netflix. So I'm leaving you it. It's on Netflix and it's an Aussie show and it's an Aussie reality show and it's called Single Wives. And I am on the 4th episode and you guys will have a laugh. I mean, and probably feel very sorry very sorry for the girl that I was punching. But yeah,
I'm watching that tonight.
Oh, I'm on it.
Okay.
So yeah, I didn't get the undercut, but it was a serious thing. I really wanted it. But my mum was like, hell fucking no. You're not getting an undercut and getting bad girl shaved in the back of your head. Like, you're not.
So there you go, folks. 2 Truths and a Lie with Ebanie Bridges, Mike Dixon, the Sportsnista. Some of y'all are ridiculous.
I'm not gonna do this one, but can I say a very important message out here to everybody? Please wear a mask. This is serious, man. We want to go back to having fans in the sports arena. I just tried to get near the NBA bubble earlier today. Fortunately, I didn't have access because procedure, blah, blah, blah. But, man, we got to bring sports back. Baseball stadiums are empty. We want to have these fights, filled at these arenas. Fans should be participating in this.
Back to America.
We got to get Ebanie back into the ring.
Yes. We got to – guys, do your part, man. 6 feet apart. Wash your hands. Wear your
Don't
mask.
be a douche, man.
Don't be a grub.
Don't go swimming with Floyd Mayweather. Everyone stay home. Work on your mechanic skills.
Yeah. Hey, we didn't mention that knockout of Sinessa. Sinessa, I don't know if you want to talk about that quickly before we.
Oh yeah.
What was your take on that?
Wow. So she fought a woman who I believe was 5-0. Two of her fights were against the same person. All 5 of them were women who were making their debut. She's also, I believe, 40 or 41 years old. Well, I can't. Her name is escaping me. Miranda Atkins. So she came out. What did you think about her body language when she came out of the corner, Ebanie? Did you see her body language?
Okay.
She hit.
Her body language looks exactly like the girl that I did the reality TV show with that's never thrown a punch in her fucking life. That's what it came out. Like, she came out, she was like this, up straight, like, I'm going to die.
But she didn't even walk out. She kind of slid her foot out.
Yeah, exactly. She was very uninterested. You could tell in her body language, like, oh man, like she expected to get knocked out. And the funny thing about that was the commentator or the play-by-play guy. He was like, "Man, Sinisa is gonna come out, and this is gonna be over quick." Man,
yeah, Sergio Mora was like, she's going to knock her out. But what did you make of the matchmaking, Ebanie? A lot of people had weighed in saying that. Perhaps DAZN was somehow culpable in getting this woman hurt and that she should not have been in there.
Yeah. Obviously it was terribly matched, and especially for Sinessa. Like, I mean, she's in a world champ. Like, she's pedigree, So I don't really blame the fighters. I don't blame Sinessa because she's just doing her job. She's going in there and fighting who's in front of her. I think obviously the Atkins. I think her team. Again, they probably just saw an opportunity to get on TV and make some money. But yeah, like you're not looking at the safety of your fighter and apparently your wife. You know, and because what I heard is that he manages her and coaches her, the husband. And I just think that I know they had only 4 weeks notice or something. But I'm sure and I'm positive that there is so many more fighters in America that actually would have loved that opportunity, that would have been more experienced or had a better fight. And maybe even with 4 weeks notice, still would have got in there and had a better go at it. So I don't really know who's behind saying yes and no, and like how deep they looked for an opponent. I mean, to the naked eye, if you look at box rec, it looks good. Oh, she knocked out a girl that had 5 KOs. But if you actually look at, like, Google that girl's name, you can see some of the footage. Like, she did an MMA fight, and it was bad. It was, like straight away. And I think Sinessa and her team knew that, so they just thought, okay, let's just get this over and done with and move on. So
she looked amazing. Like, did she look so good because of who she fought?
Well, I mean, she's good, but I mean, is anyone else? You can't say that anyone could do that. Not anyone can just go in and knock someone out in 7 seconds. I mean, she put her punches together perfectly. She was like razor sharp with it. So, she did a brilliant job of it. Some people might have gone, I'm just going to play with my food for a little bit because she's shit, and get some workout. Yeah. But she didn't, and I probably wouldn't do the same either. I think I would just want to get it done. If I was at her level and you're getting paid for something like this, you just want to get it done. Like, what's the point of playing around? Get in, get your money. You get paid the same for 7 seconds as you would for 8 rounds. Just get it done.
Exactly. That she had, that was a competitive fight, man. It went the distance. So
yeah. It's a bit shitty for women's boxing. It looks a bit shit for women's boxing, especially considering there's been some really good match fights lately. But again, I'm not holding anything against the fighters in particular. It's just the whole team around it. So hopefully we don't see any more matches like that. Especially for women's boxing. I mean, if the girl actually came out, looked like she knew how to fight, or looked like how she knew how to stand in her fight stance, and she got KO'd, like Conor McGregor's KO'd people fast. Like there's plenty of male boxers that are KO'd their opponents in 10, 20 seconds or whatever, but they're actually people that can fight as well. Right. But this girl was very clear from the first 2 seconds that she actually hadn't probably done much boxing, or maybe she's just in a boxer-size class or something.
Maybe she needs to not let her husband manage her and train her. She might just find somebody else to help her.
Maybe she should just.
I would never put my wife in a position like that. Like,
you'd be surprised, man. You'd
be surprised. Yeah. People are just about money. People are just easy. And you know what? That's the thing about boxing. Boxing is every man for themselves, and everyone wants to make a fucking penny. Like, everyone wants to make dollars. They don't give a fuck about anyone else. They really don't. The promoters don't. A lot of managers don't. Trainers. It's hard. The fighters. They care about themselves and their families, but you got a whole bunch of people around you that don't give a fuck about anyone else but themselves as well. Everyone just wants to make a quick dollar, and that's the boxing. That's the industry, man. Like, it's very hard to find genuine people. It's very hard to find, even if they are your manager, even if they are, your promoter. It's very, very hard to find genuine people that care about the fighter. Very hard.
I would take that point and go back to what we were earlier talking about, and why you think maybe promoters haven't been in serious contact with you lately is because of things like this. Partly finding and taking serious not only women who could fight, but women who have a certain look to them. How many times? I mean, I know we used to promote MMA fights. We would get the pretty girl with 4 jiu-jitsu classes who her boyfriend or whoever would sign her up for a fight, and she would go in there and just stink up the place.
Yeah.
It's a timing for a lot of it and everything. But when you see stuff like this happen, does any part of you, I mean, because this is your profession, this is what you do, this is what you're trying to, accomplish in your life. Does any part of you just want to pull some people aside and say, hey, even if the other girl is a, serious professional, which she is, why would you take that? Why would something like that be beneath you at any level, or hey, money's money, let's just go grab what we can?
So this thing's happened to me before. I've had a 3 pullouts in one fight, and the last pullout was a week out of my fight. And I've done the whole prep. I got my sponsors, I've got money coming in, I've got bills that I've got to pay that I've paid for my fight. and you're a week out, and the only option I have is some freaking bum that's, you know, just going to jump in the ring with me. And in that case, I mean, of course, I don't want to do it. And, like, you know, I sit there and I cringe and I'm like, you know, I don't want to do this fight. But then I got to think about all the things and expenses and things that I got to pay and that I've already put in, invested into this camp. And I just got to get, if I don't have a fight, you know, then I don't have it. You know, the sponsors, where's my money? You know, so
I totally respect that.
In a sense,
I'm sorry to cut you off, Eddie, because, like, to me, I respect that so much because you're not just trying to pad your record.
No, like if you
tomato cans, and you really want, because obviously you want quality fights, so you can at least have that fight for a title,
and your whole camp's for something. Like, you know, it's I don't get excited over a shitty fight. Like that fight that I had, which was a bad opponent, last minute opponent. As soon as I walked out, firstly, you've seen the fight. I was pissed off that the ref stopped the fight. The ref stopped the fight. I was like, fuck, like I wasn't finished, you know. And then I get out of the ring, and then I'm like, I don't know how Mike Tyson was satisfied with knocking people out in the first round, because I actually like to fight. And, you know, if you get stopped after 2 minutes, I'm like, man, like I didn't even get to punch her that many times, like, you know. And it sucks, like, because I'm not, you know, and especially at the period that I'm at now in my career, I like the ring time, so I can keep learning and keep practicing and stuff, you know. So. I mean, of course, there's going to come a time and a place when I just want to finish the fights early because it's better for me. But I mean, at the moment, it's like it doesn't freaking excite me at all. And yeah, I mean, if you know, I don't agree with it choosing that kind of fight 6, 8 weeks out, 10 weeks out as your first option. It shouldn't be your first option. You're not going to learn from it, you know. But you know, we get a lot of pullouts. It does happen, especially here in Australia. And there's not many people that jump in and fight me for week notice. You know, I don't even get people wanting to spar me, let alone freaking fight me. So I mean, it's like
we got Cece.
You know,
if you ever need to jump in, we got Cece.
You
guys are about the same.
I'm a supervisor. I could tell people what to do.
Yeah, right. So yeah, tell them to get in the ring with me. No, but yes, yeah, so
that's the same issue Clarissa Shields is having, you know, here in the States. That's why she can't get a fight, and you not getting sparring partners in Sydney, Australia. Like, like, what are you to do?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I got to come to the States. But now I'm freaking stuck here. Like, I mean, you know, so anyway. But yeah, that's my take on it. You know, I think she just, you know, Sinister just did her job. As far as I know, it was like they had 4 or 5 weeks. I just think that's enough time to find someone decent, to be honest. I mean, if it was a week or a couple of days, then I can understand that opponent. But yeah, it is what it is. And we just got to hope that it doesn't, you know, that kind of fights don't get showcased, because it's not good.
Right.
Forgive me if this question was already asked, but are there any fights that you see coming up on Showtime that really like pique your interest? As far as like laser cards?
Yeah, Leah Santa Cruz and Tank. I really want to see that fight.
You think Tank's gonna make weight?
I don't know. I'm a really big fan of Leah Santa Cruz. And I don't know if Tank's gonna make weight, but hopefully he does. But yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of both of them, but you know, as you know, Mikey, you've seen me with Leo in Vegas, you know, so I'm a big fan. And I just like his style of boxing, you know. His work rate's insane. So I think that's going to be really good, and it's going to be a good fight for Tank. And obviously some of the matchroom cards I'm looking forward to as well. I'm looking forward to the Katie Taylor Pearson rematch. Looking forward to I'm looking forward to Dillian White and Provodkin, and I am also heard that my boy Sean Porter's fighting as well. You know, I'm a big fan of Sean Porter. I know that it's not like the fight that we all want to see, but at the same time, it's going to be exciting because any fight that Sean does is exciting. So I'm
just a fan of Sean Porter. So yeah,
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of him. I'm a huge fan of his fighting. Just a huge fan of him as a person. He's very humble and down to earth. You know, he's a great human. So I'd love to see him in there, and I'd like to see him, you know, be like exciting as he is, and just finish that fight because he's had some really tough fights. So if we can see a really awesome knockout, then I'll be cheering. Right. But yeah,
we had you on with Tia last time, so you know what? And we've been efforting trying to get Sean Porter for some time now. So you know what, Mario, if you're watching, text me, man.
We're gonna have one more question from our fans before we let you go. We want to, you know, before we do that, we want to say thank you so much for taking time out to speak with us.
Thank you.
and just having a little bit of fun with us. And also, Mike, thank you for jumping on. We know you're in Florida.
Yeah, it was very cool.
And we can't wait for you to bring that disease back with you. So,
the disease of Florida.
It's Florida.
Yeah.
I heard Southern Nevada needs a lot of
just regular Florida disease, not even COVID.
Just a regular. I thought that. Yeah, just a regular Florida.
Mike happens to be at ground zero for COVID infections right now, so I'm surprised they're even gonna let you behind back in Nevada.
I hope I can't catch it through this internet thing.
Let's see, we have a lot of your beautiful
back here, guys. Take your last shots, all right?
Thanks. Question.
So we see Kevin Chase.
Someone wants to know. There's a marriage proposal. No, we're gonna skip over that. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of 90s, early 2000s beautiful women? Pam Anderson has one spot. Who else would you guys put on?
So we're going for blondes?
Oh, women.
No, just you know what? I'll put on there. If
No idea.
Pam Anderson, I would definitely put Halle Berry. Halle Berry's on Mount Rushmore.
Look, what about Elle Macpherson? Is she that era?
I think so.
Early.
Is she
early
80s?
90s? Late 80s, early 90s, maybe mid 90s.
Okay.
I mean, she still counts. If Pam Anderson.
Hey, she was hot. She's still hot now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta go Janet Jackson. I mean, those abs are still. I don't care if she got a rib removed or not. She still got those smoking ribs.
Lopez.
Hey, them crazy ones.
Yeah,
we got Halle Berry. We got Janet Jackson on there. That's like
Lopez.
full of crazy. Right there.
Yes, I like it Lopez, but I just want to
J-Lo,
Sharon Stone and Marissa Tomei. I find them very beautiful. I don't know if they're like
Sharon Stone,
the early Marissa Tomei. Something about that brunette, whatever.
Marissa Tomei.
We have completely gone off the rails.
Have you seen her in Avengers Endgame?
I know about her. Yeah,
she still looks well.
Okay, calm down, Mike.
He's in Florida.
Someone else.
I'm in Florida.
He's got that Florida
I'll
disease.
get back to normal when I return to Las Vegas. Okay.
Kelly Kapowski.
Hey, you know what? This is a random question. Have you seen that show 90 Day Fiance? And there's no. All right, so there's a model and fitness trainer and nutritionist by the name of Avery, and she's out there in Sydney. And I'll send it to you. You really need to watch this because it's gonna be
Mike is high right now.
We just went left. We was going right. We were going right, but you know what? We took two lefts.
Kicking in. You're right.
Let's go back right. You got any more questions, Jeremy?
Yeah, we do, but a lot of them are ridiculous. Who would you fight Ronda Rousey? How do you think you would do against her? And maybe a mixed
can't box.
Yeah, we found out she can't box. So
she can't box. So yeah, I mean,
you would do pretty well.
Yeah.
And let's see. You know what? That's a lot of marriage requests. That's really weird.
That's my DM.
Guys, look, man, we told you the key to her heart earlier. That's your friend's nuts. So send those.
And marriage requests aren't funny. They actually don't make me laugh. So
really, yeah, man, that's there you go. Well,
but hey, if you want to if you just want to send me money, for nothing, I'll give you my PayPal. Just for the honor of sending me money for nothing. Totally cool to give you my PayPal. I've had a few of those. Is
that not marriage? Is that not marriage?
You fin doms and your fin doms and your pay pigs. By all means, I've got my PayPal ready.
Hey, by the way, I do have Ebony's socks here. The last time I took a gym bag with me in Vegas, so I still got.
When I was in Vegas, you're sly.
Okay,
left the gym bag with me, so hey, I got some socks.
There you go. Well, with that, we want to say thank you again, and for Mike Dixon and the Sportsnista.
Thanks, guys.
Joining the show and everything.
It's been a wild show, but seriously, it was a great dynamic, and
everything's always wild with me.
To be on with Ebony, Jeremy, and the Sportsnista. And hey, thank you guys for watching.
I want to give a shout out to Ralph Velez. I know he checked in. If he's still out there, we'll see.
Oh, Rambling Ralph.
Yeah, Rambling Ralph. He out there busy, but yeah.
Yeah, they tell you to Turn it off.
Turn it off.
In the
I
last
have one-
sports needs to be yelling at our children. So.
I want to say hello to Statement Games. Mark, look for some work with Vegas Sports Daily, Combat Levels, and Statement Games. We got something special for you guys. Fantasy football coming up with the Raiders, some boxing. We got some really awesome free gift cards. You guys stay tuned, okay? I just want you to know that.
And yeah, give me a follow on Twitter if you want to watch the bands.
Yeah, what are your social media handles?
Yeah, at Ebanie Bridges. And make sure you spell my name right. Ebanie.
Yeah, not what I saw Ebany. No, that's not right.
Ebony. Yeah, no.
Ebanie Bridges. All right, so that'll do it for the show. We appreciate your time, and we will see everyone next week right here on Levels. Take care, everyone.
Awesome,
Take care.
guys.
Thank
See
you,
ya.
Ebony.